Future videos are going to include The Long Halloween Part 1, Easter eggs and details you missed, and what if Harvey and Rachel both survived? Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Here we are comparing the differences in The Long Halloween Part 1 and the book. Before we continue, major spoiler warning for Batman The Long Halloween Parts 1 and 2, as well as The Long Halloween comic book. I don't say this often, but this time the movie was better than the book. Many creators are able to look on previous works, whether it's their own or others, and they see ways to make it better. The Long Halloween movies are no exception. They are wonderful. They tightened up the book's writing, they solved problems that were left unanswered by the comics, and they added stronger character motivations, which we'll see more evidently in Part 2. But this video is primarily concerned with The Long Halloween Part 1. First, some general differences between the book and the movie. In the book, Bruce doesn't seem to know that Selina Kyle is Catwoman, and Selina doesn't know that Bruce is Batman. In the movie, they are aware of each other's secret identities. In the book, Harvey has the drinking problem. In the movie, Gilda does. In the movie, there is much more emphasis on Harvey and Gilda having a baby. In the book, Dent buys a new house for the family, and he and Gilda see it as a second chance to have children, but not in the movie. While it's assumed that he and Gilda are living in a new house since their old one exploded, there isn't much emphasis placed on their new residence or the significance of it perhaps being a second chance to start a family. In the book, the holiday killer takes the nipple off the gun at the crime scene. In the movie, Holiday leaves the nipple on the gun. In the book, Alberto has a smoking addiction. In the movie, Alberto has an addiction to crosswords and logic problems. In the book, Batman tells Catwoman that curiosity killed the cat. In the movie, Selina says more than once, "Around here, curiosity can get you killed." In the book, Batman is more dominant and powerful, while in the movie, Batman makes mistakes, gets beaten up in fights more often, can't keep up with Catwoman because his equipment slows him down, and he realizes that Batman has to be a detective, and a good one. The movie is a more realistic portrayal of Batman's earlier years in crime fighting and how he learns to fly and land. The intro scenes for the book and the movie are quite different. In the book, Bruce is at Johnny Vidi's wedding with a lot of powerful players, including the Falcone family. Bruce is in a large room with just Carmine Falcone and his bodyguard, Milo Scrappa. Bruce notices Richard Daniel in attendance, and he also informs the reader that Johnny Vidi, the Roman's nephew, was going to disclose everything he had on his uncle Carmine to the grand jury. At some point in the past, Falcone had hired someone to try to kill Vidi, but now Vidi isn't snitching on Falcone and is getting married with Falcone picking up the tab for his wedding. Bruce leaves Falcone's room and eavesdrops on him, and when Alberto catches him, Bruce claims he had too much to drink and is looking for a bathroom. He dances with Selina, and Alberto tries telling his father Carmine that he had caught Bruce Wayne snooping around, but Falcone dismisses him and then gets distracted when Milos notices Harvey Dent in his parking garage. Harvey is beaten up, and Bruce and Selina find him. Bruce and Selina both retire for the night and put on their costumes while Harvey goes to Gordon's office for a drink. Batman finds Catwoman digging through Falcone's safe, and they fight until Falcone's men attack them. They fight them off and flee, and Falcone puts a $1 million bounty on each of them. Batman chases Catwoman across Gotham, then meets with Harvey and Gordon on the rooftop. In the movie's intro scene, there is no wedding. Bruce is in a high-rise building with Falcone, Alberto, and the bodyguard Milos. He and Falcone discuss how Bruce's father knew Carmine's father, but there is resistance and hesitation on Bruce's end. Carmine Falcone states that Thomas Wayne believed in his father, that he believed a man could bring order to a world of chaos. But Bruce believes in Gotham City, like in the book. And then the scene cuts to two shooters firing at Maroni's restaurant, a judge being paid off, Harvey Dent running for election, and Gordon and Montoya chasing after the shooters. But now we see a third guy with the two shooters. So what if these aren't the same who shot Maroni's restaurant? The shooters had mustaches, but if they aren't the shooters, then who were they in the context of the story? Johnny Vitti hands evidence to Harvey in an envelope. In the movie, Vitti is killed before the rooftop scene, and his murder is actually the event that prompts it. The iconic rooftop scene differs between the book and the movie. In both the book and the movie, Gordon and Dent hint at marriage problems. In the movie, Dent tells Gordon that he won't tell Barbara that Jim is still smoking, while in the book, Gordon asks Dent if he and Gilda are having problems, to which Dent responds that it's nothing that can't be handled. In the book, Gordon, Dent, and Batman discuss Carmine Falcone and how untouchable and above the law he is, and what they must do to bring him to justice. Johnny Vitti has not yet been murdered. Batman gives Dent and Gordon a ledger that belonged to Carmine Falcone, and in the movie, he doesn't. In the movie, Batman assures Harvey that 2 heads are better than 1, which he doesn't say in the book. They discuss Vitti's murder, how Vitti was ready to sing, and how Carmine Falcone must have been responsible for Vitti's murder, and what they would do to take him down while Batman analyzes evidence. In the book, however, Gordon, Harvey, and Batman discuss Vitti's murder in Gordon's office. Vitti was killed with 2 shots to the head with a .22 caliber. Notice the theme with the number 2. 2 shots and a .22 caliber. But in the movie, Vitti was shot 3 times. You see only 2 casings in the evidence picture, but there were 3 shots audible in the clip of Vitti's murder. Now, the book covers the month of September, which is not covered in the movie. This is the prelude to the holiday killings. In the book, there is a character named Richard Daniels who was left out of the movie. He is a corrupt bank chief who wants to use Gotham City Bank to help Falcone launder his money. After the rooftop scene, Bruce argues against Richard and fights to keep the bank clean. Bruce uses his alter ego Batman to scare Daniels out of pushing for the bank to accept Falcone's money. Richard resigns, leaving Bruce to head the financial institution. And Falcone is so mad he orders a hit on Daniels and demands that Vitti returns from his honeymoon. Richard is scared. The book says that Richard is living in a place that he shouldn't be able to afford on his salary, so the implication is that Falcone was paying Richard to do his dirty work and will come after him because he quit. Richard and his girl are talking about leaving the country, although she probably doesn't know why, and a man shoots and kills him for Falcone. Looking at the hairline and eyebrows, the shooter looks an awful lot like Vitti. This is in September before the first holiday killing. After Richard is murdered, we then see the holiday killer prepping a gun while Gordon and Dent are with their families. However, when Gilda finds Harvey to tell him that Richard Daniels has been murdered, Harvey's in the basement with a very similar workbench that we just saw the holiday killer using to prep the gun. Here, Gilda's motivation seems to be protecting Harvey, a concern she doesn't express as nearly as much in the movie. Then Vitti is murdered on Halloween, and in the movie, they flipped him to the opposite side of the tub as what we saw in the book. Several scenes were made up for the movie, including Alfred and Bruce talking on Halloween night while Gordon is with his family and Dent is with Gilda. These scenes were presumably made up so that viewers could get to know the 3 men or the 3 keys of the story, and also so that new viewers could get to know vital characters who may be new to them. The book made many assumptions that readers would know the characters, and that would be a mistake to do in movies, which should do what is necessary to attract new fans who maybe have never read a Batman comic. In the movie, Batman catches Catwoman spying on him and Gordon and Dent discussing Vitti's murder in their iconic rooftop scene, and then he chases her across the rooftops through Gotham, which was unlike the book where the chase happened on the night of Vitti's wedding. However, later in the book, Batman, Gordon, and Dent discuss Vitti's murder in Gordon's office, and Batman catches her spying on them then, but there's no chase. Right after Batman pursues Catwoman, the film cuts to the made-for-movie scene where Falcone discusses his money laundering operations while his family mourns Vitti. Falcone blames Dent for Vitti's murder, and a man in the room disrespects Falcone's position as the Godfather, calling him weak. and Falcone's bodyguard Milos pushes him off the stairs, killing him. In the movie, we get back to Batman chasing Catwoman, and she leads him to Falcone's quote-unquote more secure facility where he hides his dirty money. In the book, Catwoman just tells Batman where Falcone's money is, but doesn't go in with him and Harvey. In the movie, Catwoman uses the chase to teach Batman that his equipment is slowing him down. In the book, he keeps up with her much better. In the movie, Catwoman is in the warehouse with Batman and the money. We never saw her there in the book. In the movie, Batman gives Harvey a coin to help him decide if he wants to burn Falcone's cash, while in the book, Harvey got his coin from his father. Harvey tells Batman that he's of two minds on the matter of burning Falcone's cash, not sure if he can be a lawyer and a criminal, which he doesn't say in the book. And in the movie, the coin that Batman gave Harvey, he originally got from a very young Carmine Falcone, which wasn't in the book. Catwoman provides the match and discusses justice with Dent, which was not in the book. Dent and Batman discuss giving the money to Gordon, but not in the book. The movie shows news footage of the warehouse blaze, but the book doesn't. Falcone says to call Chin, but he doesn't do that in the book. In the book, Falcone hires the Irish to bomb Harvey's house. In the movie, Mickey Chin and the San Ho Hui bomb it. Harvey and Gilda are in their backyard when their house explodes. In the book, they are by the front door, and most readers don't know how they survived the explosion. In the movie, Harvey is hospitalized from the explosion while Gilda sits in the chair, and in the book, Gilda is hospitalized while Harvey is in the chair. In the movie, Batman chases Chin in response to Harvey's house being bombed, but in the book, we only see a brief bit of a chase as a flashback scene. In the book, Gordon and Batman question Mickey Sullivan in Gordon's office, who's part of the Irish. The fight scene with San Ho Hui was made up for the movie and was not in the book. In the book, they had traced Mickey to the bombing by identifying the nails used in the bomb. Batman had chased him into the sewers where they were confronted by Grundy. Batman and Grundy fight, but in the movie, Grundy and Batman do not fight. In the book, Mickey Sullivan is so scared that he is willing to confess without implicating the Roman, even if it means he faces the gas chamber. In the movie, Mickey Chin is not scared and actually has a cocky attitude. In the book, it is believed that Dent is dead. In the movie, we never hear anyone saying that Dent was killed in the explosion. In the book, they disguise Dent as Mickey Sullivan and sneak him into the cell with the rest of the Irish. There, he gets everyone to confess to their roles in the bombing of Dent's house, and they even offer to put it in writing. This is one of the problems with the book's storyline, because not long later you see the Irish sitting and eating with the real Mickey. Wouldn't they have discussed what they had talked about in prison with the man that they thought was Mickey but was actually Dent, and then realized that it wasn't really Mickey they had talked to? Oh well, they die off a few minutes later anyway. In the movie, Alberto gives flowers to Dent's hospital room in the Falcone name. The Falcone family doesn't give flowers to Gilda's hospital room in the book. In the movie, Gordon tells Batman that he needs to learn to be a detective, not in the book. In the movie, when Batman talks with Gordon about Mickey Chin, Batman says that we need to, quote, make friends and in time flip him. Batman does not say this in the book, but it's a good detail to add since it hints at how Harvey is their friend, but he flips just like a coin. The principle of Occam's razor is in the movie, but not in the book. In the movie, Falcone is cooking near Alberto. Alberto asks what they have to be thankful for, and Falcone assures him Vidi's murder is being handled. In the book, Carla shows up and asks what they have to be thankful for, and Falcone assures her that Vidi's murder is being handled. Carla was not in this scene in the movie. Falcone assaults Alberto in the kitchen in the movie, but not in the book. He also commands Alberto to have zero contact with Mr. or Mrs. Harvey Dent, but in the book, he makes no such command. Gordon finds the escaped Harvey Dent in front of Falcone's place with no shoes or socks on and gives him a gun. Not in the book. Falcone celebrates with family on Thanksgiving, but we don't see that in the book. Selina is at Wayne Manor for Thanksgiving and visits with Alfred in the kitchen, but we don't see this in the book. In the book, Holiday kills the Irish, 5 men with 11 casings left behind, and the Holiday killer sticks a knife in the bird. In the movie, Holiday kills the San Ho Hui, 9 men, 9 shots. In the movie, a guard testified that Joker escaped before the first holiday murder. In the book, we're not sure when Joker escaped, but Batman is pretty unhappy with Joker after the Christmas holiday murder. In the book, when Gordon and Batman visit Arkham on Christmas Eve, Gordon tells Batman right away that the Joker has escaped. When they visit Calendar Man, he isn't very helpful except for mentioning that perhaps Holiday is a woman. In the movie, Calendar Man is much more cooperative and gives Batman a hint that leads him to find that Joker has escaped. In the book, Joker has attacked some family, but in the movie, Joker terrorizes 3 families all named Dent. In the movie, Joker attacks Harvey before attacking Maroni's restaurant. In the book, Joker attacks Maroni and his men before attacking Dent. In the book, Maroni wants someone good placed in Dent's office, and they discuss Vernon. Vernon is never mentioned in the movies. In the book, Batman finds Maroni and his men behind the restaurant, but we aren't sure how he found them except that, well, he's Batman. In the movie, Batman goes to save Harvey from Joker, and Harvey tells him that Joker is going after Maroni. In the book, Batman doesn't show up at the Dent's house after Joker's attack. In the movie, Gilda wasn't home when Joker visited. In the book, she was home. In the movie, Maroni and Batman have more discussion about what Joker did to Maroni and his men, while in the book you see directly what happened between Joker and Maroni before Batman showed up. In the movie, Joker shoots at Dent. In the book, Joker never shows a gun in Dent's house. In the movie, Joker is in Falcone's bedroom with a gun, and Falcone's gun is unloaded. They have much more dialogue than in the book, where Joker held a card to Falcone's throat and Falcone never pulled a weapon. Joker tells Falcone to find Holiday and leaves. Milos chases Joker out of the building, then Holiday kills Milos with 2 casings left at the scene. In the movie, it was 1 shot, and the Holiday killer placed Joker's cards on Milos's body. But in the book, Holiday did not make that effort. Alfred tells Bruce to go to Falcone's benefit for the Gotham Children's Clinic. No such children's clinic happened in the book. Alfred and Bruce discuss Holiday suspects, one of them anonymous, who's actually Harvey, and how this anonymous suspect was declined for a gun license due to his psych eval showing some wild aberrations. This scene didn't happen in the book. Batman says he never thought that he was going to have to be a detective and a good one. He doesn't say this in the book. In the movie, Bruce and Selina were at the annual children's clinic on Falcone's yacht. Falcone refers to Bruce's family. Bruce and Selina break up and Selina steals Bruce's watch, but they are never invited on Falcone's yacht in the book. Falcone tries appealing to Bruce in the movie more than he does in the book. In the movie, Harvey, Gilda, Jim, and Barbara are at Gotham Square for the New Year countdown. The Gordons' children are staying at Barbara's mom's house. Barb mentions that Gilda should watch the kids. Harvey and Gilda fight about children in front of the Gordons. Gilda says to Harvey, "Why can't you be more like?" All of this is not in the book. In the book, Harvey works late on New Year's Eve, and we meet Vernon, who Maroni has flipped for information, which isn't in the movie. Vernon also shows Dent that there's a connection between Bruce Wayne and Carmine Falcone, which didn't happen in the movie. After work, Dent goes home and finds the Gordons there visiting with Gilda. They never meet at the square. Meanwhile, in the book, Batman was alone, taking down Joker in the plane while Falcone is on his yacht, accusing Maroni of being Holiday or hiring him. Batman is more convinced in the movie that Joker is Holiday while fighting him on the plane. Also in the movie, when Batman defeats Joker, Gordon is immediately there, but Gordon was not there in the book. In the movie, but not in the book, Selina and Alberto meet on Falcone's yacht. He tells her about his love life and he tries kissing her. Batman arrives to rescue Selina, thinking that Alberto is Holiday. Selina blurts out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, which she never reveals Batman's identity in the book because she doesn't know it. In the movie, Holiday kills Alberto with 5 shots and he falls overboard and is shredded by propeller blades. Batman chases Holiday and Holiday shoots at Batman 4 times. Then Gordon, Dent, and Batman meet in an alley. Again, not in the book. In the book, Alberto is killed by Holiday, 2 casings left behind. Then he fell into the yacht's propeller blades. Carla Vitti finds the murder scene. Batman and Selina are are nowhere around, and we find out later that Alberto was actually still alive, while in the movie, he's dead. In the movie's end-credits scene, we are at Alberto's funeral, while in the book, the city coroner visits Falcone at the water and tells him they found personal effects on Alberto's body, but the birds had gotten to him, and we later see Carmine visiting Alberto's grave. While at Alberto's funeral in the movie, Bruce is put under Poison Ivy's mind control, while in the book, he is put under Ivy's spell when he is pricked by her rose while on a Valentine's date with Selena. There you have it, guys. What did you think of the movie adaptation of The Long Halloween? Are there any differences I missed? What videos would you like Yarns of Chaos to do in the future? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for all of your support. Until next time, keep weaving the threads of your stories.